Right, and today I'm just going to paint a lady with flowers. So I'm going to start with an oval for my face, and you divide your face like that, and then I'm going to put the shoulders and the arms. Usually I do this and then I just take out with my finger what I don't like. You know, if I can see, okay, that's maybe too far, but we'll get there. Just going to make it a lot of hair hanging there, and it's going to be over the face a little bit, and it's going to hang to that side there. And I'm not going to put in a actual face. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to put a lot of flowers there, and now you can just erase the things in between and just see if that's what you want. And I think I'm finished. I'm not going to worry a perfect, or I'm not going to worry too much about proportions or everything. As long as it looks like a lady, I'm happy. Guys, I'm just going to make my background blue and white, and then I'm going to use a sponge brush for this. I don't mind if I pick her up a little bit. I make myself this palette. It works very great for me because all my paints stay fresh for a few days, and I can actually if I pick up something, it's for me like an happy accident, you know. So if I pick up a little bit of green or yellow or blue, I'm not gonna fuss about that. I like it. And if you don't like a messy palette, you can just, even if I pick up the charcoal, it's fine with me. It's not I actually like what the charcoal does. Dirties my paint a little bit, and it makes my life easier and creates a little bit of shadows as well. So I think I'm happy with that. I will maybe put a stencil in there. That looks too lonely for me, I'm not sure. And then I want to put in a little bit of my blue. You can go over the hair and everything, because you're going to paint again over that, so it's no biggie. Just want to give it a little bit of texture here in the background. And then I will just quickly let this dry, and then I will be back to show you. Oh no, there's another thing that I want to do. I will show you just now. I'm just waiting for this paint to get a little bit more drier, and then I will splatter a little bit of water onto that. I'm working a little bit back to front, but don't mind me. I'm just going to put on a little bit of water there. I'm just going to leave it for a moment, and then I just want to show you the colors I think I'm going to use. I can maybe, I'm not sure if I'm going to go to a pink or something, but at the moment I'm feeling a red, a black. That is all acrylics, and you can use your craft paints or even house paints or your acrylics. It doesn't really matter, your normal artist acrylics. I just want to show you can use anything at hand to create. This is just a piece of Superwood, or you can see it's just a piece of Superwood or something that you maybe have lying in your yard. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use these colors, white, yellow, maybe yellow ochre, blue, green, and a stencil maybe, and a few brushes, and I used the foam brush. And then I'm going to use, I already made them into these bottles. It's Floetrol. It's like a pouring medium. Floetrol. Some people use I think white glue or Elmer's white glue and all that kind of stuff. I haven't tried it. I just use the normal Floetrol. That thins your paint. You can get it at the hardware shop. It thins your paint and makes it easier to put on your wall. I can even tell you, you can just Google, if you are in South Africa, Floetrol, and you will find it. I think it's in Durban or somewhere where I've found it, and they courier it for me, because I live in a very small town, very far away from everything. So you take your Floetrol, and you mix it with 3 parts of water, and I'm lying there, sorry, you mix it with 3 parts of Floetrol, 1 part of your paint, and then just a touch of your water, just to make it a consistency that if you pick it up on a stick, or maybe something like this, or even your palette knife or whatever, it must just make it continuously flow down. If it drips too quickly, it's too much water. If it doesn't come down in clumps, then you need a little bit more Floetrol or water. You can just see what the problem is. The craft paint and your artist paints and your house paints does different things with the Floetrol. Some of them are stiff, some of them are more fluid, so it just depends on all that factors. But the main mix for me that works is 3 parts Floetrol, 1 part of paint, and a touch of water up to the consistency that I like. Maybe I'm not going to use it here, I will just see. So this is all I'm going to do for the moment. Just want to pick up that water. You can see it gives you a little bit of a texture there in the background. I like to do this most of the times, you can see there. And now I'm going to start with my lady. Usually I use burnt sienna and things for the skin tone, but I'm just going to go with these colors that I've got, and I'm going to paint her in that. Okay, I touched there on the dirty color, but it's okay, I'm not going to worry too much. So I'm just going to make myself a peachy color here, and I know it's not the right flesh color. I don't worry about that. I don't want a exact flesh color now. It's just red and white and yellow. Well, you know what, I want this shadow part to be there, so I'm going to take a little bit of blue into this. I'm just going to go with my blue. I'm going to put a little bit underneath my chin. And I'm just going to go with the same color that I had. I'm just playing with my reds and my yellows. Just want to highlight that area a little bit more. It's just a little bit too dark. And you can even use those in your shadow colors, you know, those bluish color. Remember to wipe off do your sketch in ink or in a pencil or something, and remember to wipe off the charcoal if you don't like it. Just extending that on there. And you can even go across your hair, it doesn't really matter. Just want to highlight that area because your cheek gets a little bit more highlight. That went too dark for me, so I just want to highlight that a little bit more. That's such a beautiful bird. I don't know if you heard it there in the background. We call it in our language a swartkop willewaal. I think it's an eriole or something like that, I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm just gonna put on her hair. I'm not worrying too much, I just want to go around her face, and of course this hair is at the back of her shoulder. And these ones are just coming down. Across everything and laying here in front. You can see I'm busy here with craft paint and everything that I've got out from the previous video, and the craft paints you need to sometimes go a little bit over again, but as I said, I just want to show you can actually use anything. Sometimes you just need to go maybe over an area again. I just want to put in a little bit of that blue in her hair. I like to put blue in black hair for highlight. That's always nice for me. So I'm just going to give her a top like that, not worrying too much because I'm going to put a lot of flowers here anyway. I just want to cover up the background a little bit so that you don't see white spaces there when I maybe do a little bit of pouring or something. So I'm just taking a bit of water and just putting a type of a wash. And I can even maybe put in a little bit there as well. Okay, now I'm just going to put in a little bit in between the blue because it got a little bit light for me. And I will maybe come back and do this again, I'm not sure. I will just see how it dries, because you must also remember acrylics dry different than oils. Actually, I thought I took up some black, but it was actually a little bit of blue, so I will just come back and fix that later. You can even, while you're busy with that, you can maybe come and just tidy up some of the areas that's bothering you, and maybe put in a little bit of a line. That blue is so light, so dark that I mistaken it every time for black. I just go around, I'm not worrying too much, just almost like a touch and go. Make that area smaller, it got too big for me. Yeah, better. And now I'm going to start with the flowers. I'm just going to, I just want to get a straw. You need a straw for this. Okay, I decided I'm going to stencil a few leaves here. I'm just taking a piece of sponge and I'm just going and maybe a little bit over there as well. Okay, I'm going to take my pouring medium and I'm going to drop maybe like that. I want it a little bit pink. A little bit to the yellow side, and maybe a touch of I'm going to take my straw and I want to make a almost like an arum lily or a lily going to that side. So I'm going to try and blow 3 leaves and 3 leaves. I hope my head is not in the way. Let me try and do it like this. And then I'm just going to take some of my brush and I'm going to drag this down like a lily, and this one to that side. Let me just quickly change this one's angle. I just want to make sure. No, I don't like that one. Maybe I must put something else there. Let me just put a little bit of red maybe. This is not pouring medium. This is just, no, I'm sorry, this is pouring medium. Oh, almost light now. I forgot I wanted to make some leaf lines in here while it's wet. And remember, you can't really dictate for these things what they must do. They usually have a life of their own. So I will see there is a little bit of green tomorrow. I will just put that in, but that's how far I'm going to go, and I'll see you as this is drying. Okay, this has dried overnight. You can see it's dry. So I'm just going to make a few stems with my green, and I'm going to highlight it maybe with a little bit of yellow, and then I think I'm finished with this one. If you want, you can maybe work a little bit more on the face or whatever, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to highlight the one that's lying in front. And I think that's all I'm going to do. If you really want, you can maybe highlight some of these areas here in your stencil area. You know, some of these, just to push them a little bit more to the foreground. This side, or where it's overlapping something. Especially over a hair where it's getting lost. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I will definitely see you next time. Take care and have a lovely day.